Everyone fails. It's a part of being human. No matter how good we might be, how smart or how perfect we seem, we fail. Sometimes pretty epically. But let me tell you a story about why failure isn't necessarily a bad thing. My story starts with college. On our applications, most colleges have an essay with variations of this question: what is your biggest failure? As of right now, my biggest failure was not getting into Stanford University. I know what you're probably thinking. That's not really a failure, is it? But to me, it was like the ground dropped out from beneath my feet when I read my rejection letter. Stanford had seemed like the perfect school for me. I saw how excited my sister was when she went for Admit Weekend in 2014, and I thought that I could be just as happy as she was there. Stanford became my dream school. I thought constantly about how wonderful it would be to get in. I even prayed for it. And we know how that story ends. What you don't know was how on the day decisions were emailed out, a friend of mine ran up the hill and told me my fate would be determined. What you don't know was that throughout the entire day, my mind was numb and my arms were shaking with dread and fear and excitement. I couldn't think, couldn't focus on anything but the email sitting innocently in my inbox, just screaming at me to open it. I kept running through endless possibilities in my head. I pictured celebrating with my parents, crying tears of joy. At the same time, I also saw myself on the streets in some unknown city holding a collection tin. I cried for about half an hour after I saw the letter. Then I got up and went to go study for my finals. Everyone thought I was dealing with it well, myself included. But soon it became clear that I was not, in fact, handling it well. I started applying to other schools like Harvard and Columbia, because why not try for them? And yet, I couldn't help but think that maybe I was aiming too high. Maybe this was all just a waste of time and money. Maybe my essays would have been perfect if I'd rewritten that one sentence. Maybe if I had applied regular decision, I would have gotten in. Maybe. Maybe I just wasn't as good as people believed. Because I thought I'd tried my best. After all, I wanted it so badly. But what if my best just wasn't good enough? One reason why the rejection was so crippling to me was because I was looking too closely at it. I kept thinking that Stanford had rejected me because I wasn't up to their standard, that it was entirely my fault I hadn't gotten in. But as many wise people told me, colleges don't necessarily pick the best people. They choose the people they think will strengthen their community, people who will help improve the school. Maybe I would have been really happy at Stanford. Maybe I would have been absolutely miserable. But in the end, it really is just down to luck and what the school is looking for. Even knowing this, I don't think I would have recovered as quickly as I did if I hadn't had my amazing friends and family to help me through it. They comforted me in one of my darkest times, helping me understand that this failure didn't define me and that I was loved. Friends who were in college talked to me about their own rejections from their dream schools and helped me realize that life has a way of working out for the better. All of my loved ones nudged me towards the realization that my worth goes beyond what I accomplish and where I go to school, but is instead who I am at my very core. It took me a while to realize that it is not our failures that define us, but what we take from them. How you decide to recover from a mistake, even one as small as perhaps biting into crunchy pasta, is far more important. In applying to other colleges, I explored all aspects of my psyche, leading to a better understanding of me as a person. I was forced to confront myself, to delve into how I could make a difference in a larger community. What could I really bring to the table? How were my ideas worthwhile? In this way, the college application was now helping me regain my self-confidence, assuring me that I did have something to offer. But when you do fail, as everyone does at some point, you just have to get right back up and do the best you can. A good friend used to tell me, life is always beyond your control. And you know what? He's right. Nobody can control their life. You can't predict how things will go. So stop blaming yourself. Stand up tall, keep your chin up, and remember that you are beautiful as you are. Try your hardest and do your best because that will always be good enough. Take a deep breath and remember that life isn't over just yet. When failures happen, find another goal to work towards. So keep trying, keep dreaming, and keep failing because you never know what you'll learn. I'd like to finish with a poem that I wrote for an English assignment. Emerging from that cave like I was in a dream, my mind is like curly fries, can't differentiate the in-between. They say you are what you eat nowadays, but I'm not an apple of the earth at 91 degrees, yet I'm being lowered into this vat of spitting hot oil. 6 of us sit at the table having simultaneous breakdowns, break frowns into laughter laced with nerves. People like us are expected to be the 5s of the world, but how can we if I only feel like a 1? How can we be in this world of 2-dimensional black and white, inherited by yearning youths coughing up coffee, all of us struggling, going for the Stanford standard? Because I'm a genius, the scholar who don't got time for a gentleman caller. And I'm staring down at this hot potato. If I don't get it, I don't get off this sinking volcano. Lava will swallow me up and sharks will eat my bones. Water is essential, so make sure to hydrate, but my life is ended by just 1 carbohydrate. Motivation is dropping like that exponential decay, bullets coming at me, I can't get out of the way. Our minds are filled with these edible tubers. Is that why some stars in the sky become shooters? Mrs. Potato Head's laughing at me, at us, at you, but remember, all she is just 1 little potato. Thank you.